Hey, everybody. Hey, it's Ashley Noel here. It's kind of an impromptu, going to be kind of short little session here. I'm just popping in because it's been a while and I wanted to explain to the people who have interest in this channel and following me here at Ashley Noel that I'm dealing with some stuff like in my personal world, and a lot of it has, well, probably all of it stems from having a childhood that was directed by a parent with a personality disorder. It took over 50 years for my parent to get a diagnosis that accurately assessed the issues that she was presenting to her children. And it finally started making sense when the pieces were put together. Hey, Daphne. Daphne, I feel like we're like childhood friends or something. It's really nice to see you. So yeah, a lot's changed since I started my channel. I just wanted to reach out to you guys. Aw, smiley faces. I wanted to reach out to all of you and let you know that the lifestyle that I've taken on in order to heal the issues that I've dealt with for the majority of my life, as far back as I can remember, stem from child abuse. And well, the issues stem from child abuse, but they actually were healed by approaching diet, lifestyle, and mindset. Thank you, Daphne. You look amazing too. And I'm pretty sure one day we'll meet and like share like beauty secrets and stuff. Well, you know all my beauty secrets. Fat and more fat. But anyway, I just wanted what's really is pursuing a life of meaning and purpose, and people that have come into a lifestyle that is trying to address things. They come into this lifestyle and they realize, including myself, realize like what the rest of the world is doing. And it's really unfortunate that everything is kind of voluntary. You know, we volunteer ourselves into behaviors and kind of like belief systems. No, definitely belief systems that we adhere to on a very unconscious level. So I just have been coming to a point in my life where in a whole new kind of stage as an adult, seeing this parent gaining her accurate diagnosis and looking around and seeing like the behaviors that I had to seriously change in my life so that I did not replicate her lifestyle and replicate her way of being. You know, having to stop and taking a look around and doing that has actually caused me a lot of sacrifice in my family system. And I am putting this out here. I'm putting this out here because this is the place that I am going. Daphne just asked me, will you be putting out more content? I would love to see your channel keep growing and getting big. Yes, I would. I am going to be putting out more content. I am going to be focused on using the lifestyle that is basically carnivore, right? And just very fringe. My lifestyle has become very alien to the way that my family does their stuff. And I've literally lost most of my family. I've lost job opportunities, as maybe some of you remember, but I've lost a lot of time. I've had a lot of heartache because of it, but I think these sacrifices are worth my happiness. I wanted to point out 5 warning signs that I can share with you guys to determine whether or not the things that are hindering you from achieving the dream that you want to live, the things that are hindering you from achieving the lifestyle that you need to heal inflammation inside of your bodies and to heal your mindset. These are 5 things that can prevent you from doing that. So these are warning signs that you've been raised by somebody with such as a borderline personality disorder, like I have been. Okay. Now, when you're raised by somebody with this kind of issue, you're going to be surrounded by manipulated scenarios. People that have borderline personality disorder are going to manipulate the situation at any given moment so that they are not abandoned. At the very core of this kind of personality disorder is a fear of abandonment. And where borderline personality comes into play is that they can shapeshift depending on what is needed of them at the time. So if their family unit needs them to portray a mother archetype for the family, they step into that. If they need that child to portray whatever archetype it is, some of the most dangerous archetypal desires that parents have of their kids will turn them into incest victims. They'll turn them into these kind of glorified partners, whether it's a sexual relationship. Unfortunately, that happens, as we all know, a lot more often than we think. Or if it's an emotional dependency that they create, that will screw this child up for the rest of their life. Okay. And it's only a very few that can save themselves from a lifetime of demise. So basically the first thing that you want to watch out for as a child being raised by somebody with some issues is the problems that can present themselves when the parent manipulates the child to satisfy their immediate needs. I've been in situations as a child in my childhood where they'll try to change the perception of a child's relationships to other people. If a child seems to be spending too much time with a particular friend or a particular adult, even maybe the parental units of the child's best friend from school is literally welcoming that child into their home because they see that their child's friend is not taken care of well enough and they want to help, right? So that will conjure up a jealousy for the parent, and the parent will start turning the tables for that child. The parent will start making the child see that family as if they are competing for status or power. So the parent will start acting very needy, or they'll start acting, the core of it will be that they're very needy because they fear abandonment. But the behavior will be they'll play hard to get. They'll play whatever game it is. They'll hardcore align with their child. Hey, Amber. I will definitely post the replay. And Daphne, thank you for pointing out how important this conversation is. Thank you. So when a child is caught like that, it's called triangulation. Okay. So if you're a child and your parent is portraying a different story about a family that's taken you in and treats you really well, if they're portraying them differently from your own perception, be careful. You need to check in with yourself and be certain how you feel about the family first and foremost, or anybody that's trying to help you or meet you where you're at first and foremost. You need to contrast that with, you have to compare and contrast here. This is like a homework assignment. You have to think very deeply about how this person or this parent of your friend or this other family makes you feel compared to how your parent makes you feel. If you feel constantly isolated, abandoned, if you feel excluded, if you feel unsupported, if you feel like you don't have the basic needs or even the wants of a child living in America in this day and age, but you feel all wonderful things when you think of another family or a friend or something, that's worth noting and that's worth addressing. And unfortunately, when we're young enough and our parents do this to us, and they pin us against our allies, if they have a borderline personality or if they have fear of abandonment, which usually pushes adults into treating their children in ways that borderlines end up doing. So the first warning sign is that they'll manipulate your surroundings. They'll make it so that you need them, and they'll make it so that they need you. Oh, you can't go and have dinner at your friend's house because I need you here. Why? I need you here. And you'll be like, what am I supposed to be doing here? And they'll be like, nothing, I'm your mother. And then they'll be like, you don't question me. And then it'll be a power dynamic. And then it'll be, well, they don't force me to do shit. So in a way, these dysfunctional parents, they actually create they self-sabotage their relationships with their kids. Maybe we'll get to that. But the second thing is that they're literally volatile. They'll go from 0 to 60 if you challenge them in a way that makes them sense that you're about to say, I don't respect you as my parent anymore, or I wonder about your motivations. So if you start questioning your parent, they go 0 to 60. They'll get violent. They'll make accusations, wild accusations. They'll, such as, you like everybody else better than me. Or they'll be like, you don't respect me, you're a shitty child. Exactly. So they'll also say, okay, this is when it gets really bad. And this is what my mom did to me. They'll start saying, you need medication. Okay? They'll start trying to put you in a place where you can't make your own judgments. They'll make you question your own ability to judge your reality. So if they can't change your reality, then they have to do what we call gaslighting in the recovery community. Note, I've been in recovery for my dysfunctional, abusive family bullshit, child abuse, since the age of like 6 or 7. It's hard to remember, but yeah, been at it a while. And that's why I want my channel to go in this direction, because this is what I've been meant to do. And I notice that I attract people who are interested in pursuing the lifestyle that is very fringe, and it turns people off. So kudos to us, right? But so the gaslighting starts challenging your own perception on what is right and what is wrong. And when they start doing this when you're a child, they can start pushing medication on you. And then that's how they chisel into your self-image. And that's how they start changing the way you see yourself. So then you know what this actually does? This actually perpetuates the cycles of image issues. And we have a hell of a lot of image issues right now. And I suffered for a very long time trying to find my own image. And my mother had really, she had pinned me as an actress. I was going to be an actress when I was a child. She was basically like my MK Ultra handler. It was, you're going to be an actress, you're not going to go to college, and you're going to need me for the rest of your life. Those were basically my agreements, the unspoken agreements. So they make you need them any way that they can, and they'll eventually make you feel like you are disabled. So that's a huge warning sign. And this is what these handlers do for the talent that we've been seeing grow up in the entertainment community, like in Disney and shit. They grow up and then they go wild. They start having image issues. They start having they have cognition issues. And then you see their, second coming. They are recovered or they're in recovery, and then they keep falling down. This is how our system sets up these poor, sensitive individuals who are very talented because they're able to shapeshift as needed by the entertainment construct to make money. So my mom was trying to do that to me. And I can prove all of this, and maybe one day I'll need to, because people with borderline personality disorder should be stopped from having children. So anyway, by the time I was in high school, she made it clear that I'm not smart and that I am not as talented as she thought I was going to be. She told me I was going to be homeless. And she tried to institutionalize me in high school. And one night before my final exams. So they're going to sabotage their kids. So that's a really big warning sign of a parent that has BPD. Do not have kids with a woman or a man who has borderline personality disorder. Daphne asked a question. Daphne Reloaded. I hate to interrupt you, but I have to ask, are you no contact with your mom, or are you in her life at all? Okay, that's a really good question, Daphne, and that has been my lifelong struggle. In this most recent relationship I was in, it was a 5-year-long relationship. And before I started this relationship, I explained to this individual, it's a very difficult subject, the subject of my family. And what I ended up doing was going back and forth. At 17, I needed to leave. And at 17, I was done with this woman. Done. But a couple years later, I broke up with somebody that I was living with, and I felt so lost. And that's the programming that she inflicted me with at a very early age. So yeah, I've been back and forth with her. But most recently, when I broke up with my ex, I have been suffering from a complete severing of my connection with my sister and my little godson, because this guy that I was with, he's a manipulative person too. And what he did was he went and connected with my mother at a time when I had decided I need to get on with my life. It's not a good time. It's not good for me. I can't be in contact with her anymore. And so he started speaking with her frequently. And I didn't know that they had a frequent connection. I started talking to her again, on and off. But when I had decided to leave him, by that time, they were talking a lot. And when I left him, she sent me a message saying that she was consoling him and that they were saddened, as if it were like them two together. So basically, my mom and my ex, they talk to each other and they reenact the story in their mind that I'm not well. And they have told my sister that I'm not well either. So now I can't see my godson because she believes that. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you make bold moves in your life and the people around you in your family are really scared that that means abandonment at some point in the future. They become scared of you and they believe whatever bullshit people are saying about you. So my mother is not in my life. My mother has caused so much pain in my life and in the life of my brother as well. And I can no longer do it. I can't do it. And I don't blame anybody. I don't blame anybody for putting the brakes on family dynamics that are abusive and unhealthy. So that's the long answer to that, Daphne. That took forever. But it's a long story. You know, she starts, like, the borderline parent will start projecting their shit onto their child at a very early age, and it never stops unless they get serious help. And that's all I have to say. I mean, I should have known that it was only going to get perpetually worse getting older. When I was 17, I didn't think I was going to make it till 18. I would sit in my therapist's office in school and I'd say, I don't know what I'm going to do. She keeps calling the police on me for nothing. She won't let me excel at anything. They isolate the hell out of the children, these BPDs. And then they tell their kids that they have BPD. So another thing that they do, a borderline personality is going to mimic, they're going to shapeshift. So if you notice that your parent becomes fixated on something that you get attention for as their child, you will just watch. They will start taking on the thing that you're interested in, the thing that you excel at, your talents, your hobbies. And before you know it, they are present for everything. You don't have any private time. You don't have any chance to develop your skill separate from these people. This is the component of narcissism, that they were unable to develop a healthy sense of narcissism growing up, to realize that there is a give and a take. You have to let other people be who they are. You can't constantly be reflecting yourself into the world around you or sucking your own identity from everything around you. So there's that. They change partners frequently too. A BPD, while they're changing their image frequently, will change their partner frequently. And this leads to a lot of issues. I'm not going to talk about the things that it leads to because they're health concerns, okay? And we don't want to talk about gross health concerns, in reference to frequent partners when it comes to mother figures, because that's disgusting. But anyway, I digress. But this was a funny little instance. I mean, if you have a parent who changes their personality in front of all of their partners, and you're a child and you see that, it's going to fuck you up around relationships. Believe me. Plus, when you are a BPD parent and you are so busy entertaining your partners, it's hard to remember to throw certain items away that are no longer needed after your act of whatever the fuck you were doing with that person. So what they end up doing is exposing their children to really inappropriate behaviors. They don't think twice about where their child is at any given moment when they're about to engage in their disgusting fucking behaviors, whatever it is. So they'll do inappropriate sexual acts in front of their children. They'll speak inappropriately about sex. They'll they'll definitely talk way too much about their sexual lives with their children. Their children don't have their own identity in the narcissistic borderline personality mind. They can't. Everyone around them is a pawn in their little chess game, checkers probably, because they're not that smart. Well, they're very smart. They're conniving, manipulative, calculating individuals. They're actors. But if you make them play a game that they don't want to or that they're not well versed in, they either fall asleep or they just lose interest. They always have to play a game that they're prepared for. And that's the biggest tell about their sexual behavior, their sexual deviance is a tell about what it was they were conditioned to be like as children. Many of these borderline personality parents were incest victims, whether it be emotional or physical, sexual abuse. So you have a child who is exploited by their parents, and then they struggle in their world to find an identity. So then they recreate all of the abusive dynamics that they were born into and grew up into in their adulthood. But see, this is where I draw the fucking line. I didn't let that happen to me. Yet, these crazy motherfuckers, sorry, I'm getting there. Yet these crazy assholes are turning the tables on me. And because I value my sanity, my health, my wellness, and my lifestyle standards, these people think that they can get away with labeling someone who pursues health and wellness as someone who has no proper judgment over anything. So this is insanity. This is topsy-turvy world. And funnily enough, most of these people that I'm talking about turn out to be welfare-fed leftists. Sorry to say that, but seriously. All right, where am I? The triangulate family. Yes. Okay. So we talked about gaslighting. We talked about manipulating environments to prevent their own abandonment. They're volatile. They go 0 to 60. They get so angry when they think about you achieving the things that they want to achieve. Oh my God. So, when things actually start coming together for a person who is being just shit on, when their life starts coming together, these people come out of the woodwork. It's hilarious how this happens. My warning to you is don't be an idiot and don't misinterpret that. Do not. This is what I did. I interpreted it so many times. Like, oh, Ashley, you're so healthy. You're so whatever. You're doing this. That's great. Blah, blah, blah. What they'll do is they'll contact you and they'll inflate you a little bit. And then you think that you've earned their love and that they actually see you. They see who you are, and you can then pursue a healthy relationship with them. No, that's not how it goes. They're only back because they're after narcissistic supply. That's the only reason why they're back. And you'll know this because if you look around and you see the things that you have now versus when you last, were feeling like shit with them in your life, you'll see that they're trying to pursue those things for themselves. They're just trying to attain a identity. through you once again. So this is another warning sign that they show up when you are doing really well. And it sucks. It really sucks. And I'm so sorry, but that's, I don't know. I'm really out of sequence here. I just know that there are at least 5 major things that I wanted to share with you. And I'm dealing with this like new phase of bullshit from the BPDs in my family. And it's because I finally had the confidence to leave my ex-boyfriend. I finally had the confidence. I had the confidence to go back to school. I graduated, thank God. I have the confidence to speak in front of a camera. I have the confidence to share my story. And I have the confidence to keep exploring who I am. And that must suck for all those stupid BPDs in my family who are like, oh, she's not, around anymore. So, oh, thank you, Daphne. Oh, man. So here we go with like 30 minutes. I am notorious for all these long live videos, but this is the world that I'm creating, and this is the world I belong in. And I have always known and intended that this work was for me to focus on. So I don't know. That's just kind of what's going on. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I have to run. Got a couple things I need to do. A health update is I don't have a car anymore, and I'm biking everywhere. My ass looks great. And I'm just really, really like enjoying this new kind of cardio exercise I'm doing, riding my bike everywhere. I love it. And I never realized how yucky it felt like always being in a car. Don't get me wrong, I love driving, and I definitely am looking forward to having a car again. But since my car died and I haven't been able to get one, since then, I just feel like I'm being like pushed in this place where I have to like focus, and I'm totally willing and ready and happy to do that. So this is what I'm focusing on. Focusing on my new career, focusing on this awesome opportunity to share things with people. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna go now. High five for all the walkers and the bikers. Yeah. So Daphne doesn't have a car either. Our asses are looking great. And I'm going back to the gym too. So I got my pump. And yeah, I definitely am not at the top of my game, but I'm getting there. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna go, gotta go. And I'll see you guys another time. Bye. I just wanted to say shout out to Amber H. Hey. And Daphne, of course. Hey. And we'll talk more later. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.